Hello, how are you all? I hope you are well and happy. I am Sophia from India. I have seen the condition of many people deteriorating, but the incident that I am going to tell you has happened in my own house. We have a 5-story building where we live on the ground floor, and the remaining 4 floors are given on rent. A family used to live on our 2nd floor, which included an uncle, an auntie, their 2 sons, 2 sisters, and the elder daughter-in-law's small child. Despite living in the city, these people were used to sleeping at 9 p.m., whereas we used to sleep very late. One night, around 1 o'clock, that auntie come to our house in a panic and said, "Come with me immediately. My younger daughter-in-law's health has deteriorated." My mother and father immediately went upstairs with her. As soon as they saw, their daughter-in-law was sitting hiding her face in the blanket and making strange noises. Oh my God, my parents say that the scene was very strange. My father was surprised and asked, "How did this happen suddenly?" Auntie said that today we had gone out somewhere. After coming back from there, everyone was sitting comfortably and talking. After a while, my daughter-in-law went to the washroom, but as soon as she come out, she climbed on the bed and covered her face and said, "I am feeling very cold." Then after a while, she said, "I am feeling very scared." And within no time, her voice started changing. She started screaming and crying in such a horrifying voice, as if 3 or 4 men were screaming together. Adan Bai. Believe me, she was screaming so loudly that her voice was echoing in 2 neighborhoods. Then an auntie explained that she was screaming out of fear. So they slapped her lightly, after which a shadow come out of her head, turned around and hit the side of the window. Seeing this, everyone was stunned. We got worried and understood the matter. Her screams were so terrifying that everyone was in panic, and such things happening in our own house was also a scary thing. It was almost 3 in the night. Then we found out about a spiritual healer 6 kilometers away. Somehow she was brought down. The girl was very thin and delicate, but God knows where she got so much strength from that. She was not getting up even with 4 or 5 men. Somehow she was brought down and taken to the spiritual healer. The spiritual healer breathed on her, and after some time, she returned home to normal. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief and said that now make her sleep comfortably. We are all going to our homes. My parents also come home and were about to sleep when after some time, the same auntie come down again and said that now her health has worsened and she is screaming more than before. "Let's go quickly." My parents immediately went to her house. Now that girl started doing strange things. Everyone was worried and thinking what was happening at this time of the night. Then somehow, another scholar got to know about this, and he himself come to our house. He immediately started trying to pacify her, but she started crying. Spiritual healer called for salt and spread all the salt on the bed and then made her lie on that salt. She started writhing in pain and started screaming and shouting even more than before. Whatever creature was inside her was going out of control. Brother, this scene was no less than a horror movie. Believe me, she was lifting her entire body weight on her toes. Seeing this, all the got scared. After some time, she became completely weak and lifeless. Spiritual healer said that now cleaned the salt from her body. Some women got together and changed her clothes, but she was in a completely unconscious state, as if she had no life. Then she repeatedly started insisting to go to the washroom, but spiritual healer strictly refused and said that she is just making an excuse. Now the azan of Fajr started resonating. There are 10 mosques near our house, and all the azans resound together. She did not want to hear the azan. Brother, as soon as the azan started, she put her fingers in her ears in such a way as if someone had stuck her to the glue. All the people forcefully took out her fingers and made her listen to the entire azan, after which she became light. Then she again asked to go to the washroom. So the Alim Sahab gave her permission, but two women accompanied her. Now everyone returned to their homes. The girl looked normal, but as soon as the azan of Zohar resounded, she again started writhing in the same way. She was taken to the nearest dargah every Friday. She got better to some extent, but could not get cured completely. Then she was taken to another dargah, where someone said that this seems to be the effect of some dirty knowledge. You should consult a priest. When the priest started treating her, believe me, the creatures inside her started introducing themselves one by one. First, the creature started saying, "I am your aunt's son. I wanted to marry you, but you refused, so I cast black magic on you." And he started laughing loudly. Then the other creature said that your relatives had fed you something to eat, so that all your property would be his, because you had no parents. But the scariest creature was the one who said in a very scary voice that you had come to the village and were standing on the fence and taking selfies. I was looking at you from behind. Your eyes started to become very beautiful. So they started to become very beautiful. Now they started to scare everyone. Treatment was given. She was gradually getting back to normal. My father also organized a dicker gathering at home, and now everything seemed fine. The child of their house never went near this girl, i.e. aunt. Why was she always afraid of her? But after all this happened, we understood why she was afraid. Even now there are questions that no one has the answers to, like how all these creatures suddenly appeared. And I don't know why she started doing all this as soon as she left the washroom. Well, now everything was fine. Many people told my father to throw her out of the house, because in such cases it is better to be cautious, especially when there is a little girl in the house. But my father did not listen to anyone because he himself was very worried. Throwing her out of the house and putting her in more trouble was against humanity. My father helped her in every possible way. This was the story of our channel. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's move on to another story. My name is Saba, and I am from Karnataka, India. I want to share a story with you related to black magic. This magic caused a lot of pain to my family and almost took my sister's life. It is a long story. My father is a businessman and a very hardworking person. My grandmother had promised him at the time of his death that the elder brother, whom I will call Abu, would never leave his children alone and would take full responsibility for them. My father has 4 children, 3 daughters and 1 son. My grandfather has 5 children, 3 sons and 2 daughters. My grandfather was in politics, and whatever he earned, he would hide it from his wife's mother and spend it on his wife's siblings. My father knew all this, but still he loved his elder brother very much and never disobeyed him. My father also loved me and my sisters very much. We were always with him. He used to take us everywhere with him. We loved her so much that we loved her more than our own father. One day, my grandfather, who was a politician, was insulted by a woman and did not allow her to enter his house. Seeing this, my father got very angry and spent all his earnings and property to build a luxurious house. Although my grandfather's sons were able to earn money at that time, were married and had children, but they did not spend a single rupee to build a house. Now the real story began when we started living in our new house. We shifted to Delhi. At that time, my elder sister was in class 10 and was getting very good marks. My father wanted her to become a doctor, like he had made my grandfather's son a doctor. But my grandfather did not want my sister to become a doctor, so he started arguing with my father and tried to stop him. He did black magic in my sister's lunchbox, due to which she became very sick. She got malaria and appendix pain, due to which she had to undergo an operation. She became so ill that she could not even walk and was completely confined to bed. My mother is a religious woman and never missed prayers and recitation of the Quran. One day, my mother met a scholar who looked like my aunt, i.e., the daughter of my father's aunt. When she saw my sister, she told my father that you have to perform dumb on her because she is under the influence of some magic, and this was done to stop her studies. When my mother called her to our house and asked her to perform dumb, my grandfather and his family did not like it at all. My sister's health started improving, and she got admission in MBBS in another city. Here, let me tell you that my sister was not a very devout Muslim and often skipped prayers. She often heard strange noises in the hostel, but she always ignored them. One day, suddenly, my aunt, who was my father's elder sister, come to my sister's hostel and gifted her a pair of clothes and insisted that she wear them that very day. We had no idea that this incident would completely change our lives. As soon as my sister put on those clothes, the next day she started feeling unwell and had to be admitted to the hospital. Her roommates told our mother that she often got scared at night. She would scream and grind her teeth in her sleep. She would even say some words that she herself could not remember. Finally, my father decided to take her out of school and bring her back home. When she come back, the three of us sisters slept together. After a few days, I felt that she was talking to someone at night. I started paying attention and saw that she would often look out the window and talk to someone, or she would stay up all night and sit on the sofa, which was very scary for me. When I told my mother, she gave her a bath and gave everyone a bath with a bath. One night, it was summer and our room became very hot. During this time, my grandfather's two daughters come to our house and started sleeping with us. Due to the heat, we decided to shift to another room where there was air conditioning. There were two beds in this room, one made of iron and the other of wood, which were attached to the floor. It is also important to remember that it was a summer day, and it was almost 12:30 at night, and everyone in the house except the four of us was fast asleep. Suddenly, a strong wind started blowing in the room, and the bed started shaking as if someone was jumping on it. I got scared and started looking around to see if there was anything under the bed. Suddenly, long handprints started appearing on the glass door of the room, as if someone had placed wet palms on the door. Those hands were very long. I immediately called my cousin so that she could see them too. As soon as she started looking, suddenly the windows and doors started shaking violently, as if someone was knocking on them. We all screamed in fear and immediately ran out of the room. The next day, no one believed us, but I knew that something must be wrong in this room. After some time, my parents shifted the three of us sisters to the same room because it had air conditioning and was also more spacious than our previous room. We shifted there quietly because no one in the family believed us. Strange things started happening to us in this room, like things disappearing suddenly, feeling someone's presence, lights turning on and off automatically. One night, my elder sister was looking at her mobile at night when she suddenly felt something moving in the room. She immediately turned off her mobile and saw that a long black shadow was continuously moving from the bathroom towards the window and then suddenly disappeared. The next day, she told me this. My mother told my father and cousins, but no one listened to me. Gradually, my sister became very quiet, which worried my parents, and they decided to get her married. After that, she got married, and when she come to our house with her husband, they were given only one room to live in. My sisters told me that suddenly my sister started having seizures, and she fainted, which made her very scared. They started keeping an eye on everyone in the family. One day, they saw that my uncle and aunt's elder daughter was secretly going into the room and coming back with something in her hand. They suspected her. They immediately told my parents, who talked to their brother, but they ignored the matter. After my sister got married, my younger sister and I started seeing shadows in that room. They would try to touch us, but could not come near us. They would keep moving around our bed, which was very scary. I still remember that day. They even stopped us from praying. We used to sleep with the alarm on our mobile and pray, but the alarm did not go off every time, which was very scary. When my father and mother experienced all these incidents themselves, they decided to talk to a scholar that only we sisters in the entire family knew about all these incidents. So my mother's brother told this to one of his friends, and it come to light that my elder father's entire family and my father's sisters were involved in this. Their aim was to occupy my father's mansion and were attacking the children to weaken him. We were shocked to hear this, but we never confronted them because we all lived in the same house. We left everything to Allah because He is the most merciful, and we were sure that He would do good to us. Suddenly, one day, my elder father had a heart attack and was admitted to the hospital for 2 weeks. Day by day, all his organs stopped working and he passed away. After his death, my sister and I spent 10 days in that room. I never saw a shadow again. When we asked a scholar about this, he told us that it was a special kind of black magic that was done to take the lives of all 3 of us sisters. Because my elder sister left home after marriage, it affected me and my younger sister. But since we were constantly performing ablution and praying, it could not harm us. The one who did this, that is, my grandfather, was the one who was cast the spell, due to which he died suddenly. After his death, my elder sister also became completely healthy, and now they have a child. Thank you very much. You shared your story. Let's move on to another story. Assalamu alaikum. I want to share my story with you. First of all, let me tell you that we are 4 sisters, and we had 1 brother. My father is in the army. My mother and father had a love marriage, and my mother's family did not talk to my mother. When my mother had a love marriage, they were all angry with her. When we were young, wherever my father was posted, the family would shift with him. Later, as we grow up and started going to school, my grandmother used to visit my mother, and then gradually my aunt also started visiting her because we were quite settled. My father also had a lot of land, etc. So whenever my aunt come to our house, she would definitely bring something or the other. When they started visiting, my mother also started wanting to meet her sisters. Here, let me tell you that my aunt, etc., are very ordinary people. They believe in amulets and magic, etc., while my father did not believe in these things at all. We spent our childhood completely alone. It is clear that whenever our father had any posting, we would go with him. Whenever we went to our grandmother's house, we would go after a year or 2 and stay for a day or 2 and come back. So it started happening that whenever my aunt would visit us, she would get amulets, etc. My father did not like my aunt very much. At that time, I was studying in matric. My 2 sisters were the eldest, then my brother, and then I. I am a year younger than my brother, and I have a sister who is 8 years younger than me. So these people started getting amulets done. My aunt had asked for my elder sister's hand in marriage. My father had married twice. My mother was his second wife. My father's first wife had divorced him. They had 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. 2 daughters were also with my mother while the son was with his mother, because he was very young at that time. She lived with us of her own free will because she liked to live in the city, while her mother lived in the village. So my father's first wife was also a woman who used to do a lot of such things, i.e. amulets, etc. Well, my elder sister's aunt had asked for a relationship, so my uncle said that we should also do it. So in this way, my half-sister was married to my younger uncle. When I was very young, my mother arranged my marriage in the same house where my sister had got married, while my father and brother were against it. I slowly started growing up, and there were arguments in the house over this. Mother was completely on one side. She wore many amulets. I couldn't understand anything. For 2 or 3 years, there were arguments in our house over this. When I was young, I was very scared. I used to ask my mother, "Why you fight? What happens to you?" and she used to say that all the fights are because of you. You yourself tell your father that you want to get married here. Then gradually this scene started to become too much and we started getting scared. I got married there. My sister was married to the youngest son of the family, while I was married to the eldest son of the family. So I didn't stay there because I wasn't happy at all, and my husband was also much older than me. At that time, I was studying in Matrix, and then they used to put amulets on me so that I could stay there. Believe me, many amulets were found under the pillow in my sofa. I stayed there for only 5 or 6 months, and then I come back. My father said no, I didn't want to go. There was immense love between us siblings, but this amulet did not stop and continued like this. Then finally my husband said, okay, I will get her a separate house, but he did not want me to divorce her. He threatened me that if I divorced her, he would also divorce my sisters. I got married in Karachi but later come to Lahore. I got a separate house here. Very high-quality new flats were being built in Iqbal town. My brother used to live with me. While my elder sister and her husband lived in my mother's house, I didn't like living there after marriage at all. Well, my husband brought me home, and my brother also started living with me because I couldn't live alone. My husband didn't live with me. He lived in the village, and I didn't like living with him either. My flat was on the 3rd floor, and as soon as I opened the door, there was a flat in front of me on the 2nd floor. This was also a similar flat. The owner's daughter and wife lived in the house on the ground floor, but they did not stay there continuously. They would come there occasionally and take their essentials and leave. Well, I shifted there. That flat was brand new. I also liked it. It had a bedroom, a kitchen, a TV lounge, and a store. But there was a strange feeling in that flat, and it felt very hot there, although it was hot even in winter. So the attached washroom in the room had a big tree on the side of the window. So at night, there was a house on the wall behind the bedroom, which was built on the ground floor, so its roof was visible from there. At night, it felt like someone was working there with a hammer. This sound came at 2 a.m. There was nothing like that in my mind. I used to think, I don't know who is hammering at such a late hour. Sometimes my elder sister would also come to me, but my mind would not go towards these things. I went upstairs and looked, but no one was there. The sound of knocking was coming clearly, and it seemed as if someone was running on the roof. An aunt and her daughter lived in the flat opposite mine. Her daughter's husband was in Dubai. They had 2 children. We didn't talk to them much, just a little. There was a window next to the stairs of my flat. At 2 a.m., a shadowy figure would pass by. My mother would often ask me how the people in front were doing. I would tell her that they went out at 2 a.m. There, today, I will see who goes there, every day at 2 a.m. Someone comes or goes to their house, so we used to sleep until 3 to 4 a.m. So I was awake and thinking that as soon as he passed, I will immediately open the door and see who it is. So believe me, as soon as that shadow passed, I immediately opened the door and saw that he was taking time to go up or down the stairs because my flat was on the 3rd floor. If you look from above, you can see all the stairs. If there was someone there, he would have taken a step and come down. But when I looked, there was no one there. Even then, I had the same thought that I don't know who left so early, and I ignored it. When I told this to my mother, she said that it's okay. I don't know who it could be. And then one night my door suddenly got locked. Still, I didn't understand how the door got locked. And then one day when I asked the auntie in front, she told me that, son, we are very scared of the evening. I have been repeatedly asking my son-in-law to change houses. There is a knock on our door and we sit with our children in our laps. When she told me this, I also said that I also hear such sounds. And then when I came to know that there is such a scene, I got a little scared. One night I was sitting like that. My brother and sister were also with me. They told me that suddenly something happened to me. They were very scared. My voice became very loud, as if I was screaming. I don't remember what I told them. I don't remember anything because we were alone there. They arranged for an auto and took me to my mother's house. They also told me that I had grabbed the auto driver's neck. I was saying that I will not leave him. I will kill him. Why is he taking me? They brought me to my mother and father. Father immediately recited the Holy Quran. When we were little, my mother also had a problem that whenever there was a big meal or something in the house, suddenly something would happen to my mother and her little girl would come in. She would say that she had come from the mountains. As soon as I got better, something happened to my mother. I never went back to that house. We moved things from there and I moved to my mother's house. So now our house was on the ground floor. There was my mother and father's room. My brother's room was upstairs, next to my sister's room. And then I also had a baby because a lot of time had passed. After that, my brother got very sick. It was winter. His room wasn't that big. He was alone, so he would tell me to give him my room. He felt suffocated downstairs. He was very sick and very quiet. I would ask him what happened to him. He couldn't tell me. I couldn't take much care of my son. He mostly stayed with him. He would tell me to take care of your son yourself. So I would say, "What happened to you?" During this time, many amulets were also found at home because I did not go back with my husband. So during this time, once when my mother went to my friend's house, some Babaji was there. He told my mother that a big disaster is going to happen to your house. The most valuable thing in your house is going to be taken away. Let me come to your house and study. My mother believed in these things, but my father did not believe in these things. My brother was also very sick. He used to get up at 2 a.m., turn on the motor and take a bath in fresh water. He often had fever. It was the month of January, and he used to say that bathing in fresh water made me nervous. He used to tell me repeatedly to give him the room upstairs. One day I had a fight with him. I told him that we are 3 people, and your room is small. We will not give you our room. My brother was very fond of bikes, and he used to change bikes. In those days, he had a 125 bike. This was 7 years ago. He had to buy a new bike. So 2 days ago, he sold his old bike. 2 days ago, he went to his father's room and stood there for several minutes. And then father handed over all the money to him. Father asked him, "Why are you giving me all this money?" He said, "Keep all this money. I am going out for a while." Then father says that he stopped at the door and turned around and looked at me strangely. Then father asked what happened. "Do you need anything?" He said, "No, brother." It had been 15 minutes since he left the house when father called him that your son had an accident. Then father went to the hospital. He did not suffer any major injuries. The boy who was with him also suffered minor injuries. He had a bruise on the back of his head. So the doctor operated on him. My elder sister was with him. My father was with my uncle. He did not feel good seeing him in this condition. He says that as soon as he regained consciousness, he said, "Let me get up." Then father said, No, you lie down." Then my uncle asked if I have to reach. He said, "Yes, what happened to you?" Then he told my elder sister to let me get up. I don't want to lie down. At that time, he was completely fine. When the doctor came again, he said that there was blood in his brain. We have to operate again. When we operated again, he didn't regain consciousness. The doctor said that his brain was completely dead. Only his heart was beating. So, my mother's friend knew everything. She used to come to our house from the beginning. She told me, "Why don't you go inside? He loves you very much. Maybe he's waiting for you. Then you go." I said, "No. After all, these people forced me inside." Then I closed my eyes. I didn't have the courage to see him in this condition. About a week before the accident, he used to say that when someone dies, no one should cry or end their life. People cry and do wrong. He said such things again that I still can't get them out of my mind. Then I asked the doctor why you are causing him so much pain. The doctor said that his heart is still beating while his brain is completely dead. So he said that if your father allows us, we will take everything away. We gave a lot of charity, etc. And then the next day, his face was very bright. Ami felt that she was getting better now. So the day he died, I was at home. I woke up in the morning, read the Holy Quran, and I ordered a chicken for charity, so I had it in my hand, and I was on the stairs when I got a call from the hospital saying, "Get ready." Believe me, I was completely stunned when a person hopes for something good and the opposite happens. Then you know what happens to a person. At that time, he was 21 years old. His birthday was on January 8th. He died on January 27th, and he was in the hospital for a whole week. After his death, whenever someone cried, I missed him a lot. I went crazy. So, the purpose of my story is that these people who get amulets, etc., done, even if it is for a good cause. But this thing demands sacrifice because my mother was also in it, so that I would not divorce my husband. Amulets would come out of my wardrobe, my clothes, everywhere. My father was not in favor of it. Well, then I divorced him and got married again. I am very happy. But the most precious thing in our life was our brother. And in the end, he took away all those things, which resulted in that in the end, all those things went out of my hands. Mother remembered this very much that Babaji had told my mother 10 to 15 days before my brother's death that let me come to your house and read, that someone is going to take your most valuable thing from your house, brother. This was my story. If you like it, then share it. The purpose of sharing my story is that people learn from my story. Thank you so much for sharing story.